When the year 432 arrived, the magicians were troubled. The spirit whom they served and inspired them felt that the hour was at hand and that his conqueror approached. At that time there was in those countries a powerful king who reigned over the barbarous people. His name was Laguor, the son of Nil, and he dwelt in the city of Temora. Around him dwelt magicians, enchanters, workers of every kind, who knew and foretold the future. The most famous were Egli, Mel, and Lokri. Now the magicians announced frequently to the king and to the princes that a strange false prophet would come from abroad and beyond the sea with a new doctrine, unknown, ungraceful, and hard. Few desired his coming, but many would receive him. All would pay him reverence. He was to overthrow the kingdom, striking with death the kings who resisted him, and seduce the mass of people, who was to banish science and establish an eternal kingdom. And they wrote verses which all the people chanted. The chief of doctrine shall come with his curved staff, and every family shall be struck in the head. That means knocked in the head. Eternal amnesia, not knowing your foremothers or forefathers, struck in the head. At his table he will pronounce magic words, and from the vestibule of his house all disciples shall answer, so be it, so be it. In fact, in the year 432, Patrick crossed the sea and landed on Irish earth at the mouth of the Dee, near Creich Coolin, according to others in Inisherd. Saint Piran, a missionary sent to Cornwall by Saint Patrick in the 5th century, is patron saint of the Cornish tin miners. The Dean of Canterbury has originated a scheme for protecting and maintaining in its present state the ancient oratory of Saint Piran in Cornwall, which was buried under the Sandrits for probably more than 10 centuries and only uncovered so late as the year 1835. This man was sent by the Christians, made you change your tongue, your religion, your divine creed, your flag, and you're sitting here honoring this man. A still greater peculiarity was their fondness for traveling the sea on millstones. St. Piran came from Ireland in this manner, and Mr. Baring Gold, who ought to know, says that he brought the art of distilling good whiskey with him. It was actually while distilling on the sly that he discovered tin. Early in the Middle Ages, a lot of frightened Celts escaped and settled across the Channel in France. They called their new home Brittany in honor of their old home. The people that chased them out were the heathen Anglo-Saxons, Anglo, Anglican, England, English, Christian, who changed Britain into Anglo-land, England. And today you still honor their religion, their tongue, their saints. The Britons kept on speaking Celtic, and they refused to join France politically until about 1500, when the Great French Revolution came, and that's when they started colonizing the Moorish Empire. Of late years, they learned about independence from the Celtic nationalists of Ireland, and that's because we know nationality is of paramount importance. Nationality, no white, no English. When war broke out last fall, Premier Daladier jailed some of the nationalists along with other dangerous elements. See, they know nationalism is dangerous because it takes out all de facto corporations that are foreign within your land. Because when you nationalize and you declare your nationality, your divine creed, your flag with all your brothers and sisters, you gain access to all your resources in the land, and foreigners can't touch it. But that's not going to happen when you're knocked over the head by the crooked stick of a saint. That's of Christianity. That ain't even of your tongue. Every tongue must confess their own, and that's not your tongue. Yes, we're stuck in English, but that don't mean you got to keep hold of all of the other Roman yoke. This man was a drunk. He was a Christian crusade, Moor-killing son of a... You seen that the adepts gave you a prophecy that they was coming to take over your words, your tongue, your learning. And you still, to this day, anyone that's saying they're Cornish, if you're following this English Anglican Christianity, you ain't no Cornish. You are disrespecting and dishonoring your foremothers and forefathers. So the studies we have on the Cornish temple, you're celebrating the three-leaf clover, which is celebration of the beheading of 3 Moors. You're celebrating the boar's head, which is the celebration of the beheading of a Moor. You're celebrating the snakes being ran out of Ireland, which are the Moors. So here's your very own song telling you that you're unhonorable. St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. Do you ever think of lessons taught by mother and father when you were just so high? They taught you to be true to one another and never, never tell a lie. They taught us always to despise a coward. A thief is sure to come to none bad end. But the one who's worst of all, worse than slimy things that crawl, is the one who betrays a friend. So you're worse than the ones they called slimy that crawl. But those are the Moors who they're talking about. They ran out of Ireland, the snakes. So you don't even care about the lessons that was taught by your mother and father to not tell a lie and to despise a coward because you're cowardly. You're hiding the truth under these celebrations and fictions of stories, allegories that tie to the murder that your ancestors committed. There are people from over the ocean, strangers from over the sea, who came and received our devotion, now pay back with treachery. When they fled from the wrongs of their native lands, we welcomed and gave them good cheer. St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. God send us St. Patrick here. You all are so disrespectful. You all committed genocide, and our own bloodline fought and tried to help, and they got killed. Our studies show that 2,500 Cornish brothers died trying to fight against this BS. Them trying to change your tongue, your religion, your divine creed, calling you pagan, when pagan only means non-Christian or non-Jewish. Man, y'all are holding that Bible, going to church on Sundays. I'm going to call you dirty Cornish. You let go of the plow of your foremothers and forefathers for a saint that was a drunk and brought Christianity among your people, changed your tongue, your books, your divine creed. Only a few will stay hold of the plow and be saved. The rest of you, I see you celebrating all of these Christian holidays, them draining all of your pockets of your fiat, feeling like you have to go buy all this stuff, and then you're poor, dirt, broke. Meanwhile, you done did all of these spiritual rituals that's honoring the murder of the people who really brought you out of darkness into marvelous light. So you'll get the just reward from Allah for that. Don't get mad at me for just coming and tell the truth, though. The Cornish temple has the most extensive studies in Cornish history and ancestry. You're practicing things that your foremothers and forefathers died fighting against. And now every day you bring it into your home, you teach your children before they can walk. You have the crosses on the wall that's celebrating the defeat of the 5 Moorish kings, El Bey, Al, and Ali. You're celebrating all of these rituals of beheading of Moors, including with your food. Even Thanksgiving is the turkey, the Turks. And then your boar's head, that's resembling the Moor's head that was cut off, as well as the other 3 with the clover.